Once upon a time, there was a small and peaceful village nestled between rolling hills. The village was a picturesque place with charming cottages and cobblestone streets. It was a place where everyone knew each other, and the sense of community was strong. The villagers were happy and kind. They spent their days working together, helping one another with daily tasks and sharing stories in the village square. The children played freely, and the elders watched over them with loving eyes. They lived in a village surrounded by green fields. These fields were fertile and provided the villagers with abundant crops. The landscape was dotted with wildflowers, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming plants. In this village lived a young boy. He was known for his playful nature and his curiosity about the world around him. He loved exploring the fields and playing with the other children. His job was to watch the sheep. Every morning he would lead the flock to the hills where they could graze on the fresh green grass. He took pride in his responsibility, even though it was a big task for someone so young. The boy's job was very important. The sheep were valuable to the villagers, providing wool, milk, and sometimes meat. Without the boy's careful watch, the sheep could wander off or fall prey to wild animals. He had to keep the sheep safe from danger. The hills were home to wolves and other predators, and the boy had to be vigilant at all times. He carried a staff to protect the flock and would often sing to keep himself company.
Watching sheep all day is so boring. He often found himself daydreaming, wishing for some excitement to break the monotony of his daily routine. Little did he know, an adventure was just around the corner.
One day the boy felt very bored and lonely. He wanted to have some fun and excitement. So he decided to play a trick on the villagers.
Wolf! Wolf, help! A wolf is attacking the sheep! Come quickly!
The villagers heard his cries and came rushing to help. They were very worried.
Oh no, a wolf is here. We must help the boy and save the sheep.
Hurry, we can't let the sheep get hurt. They are in danger.
Let's go, everyone. We need to act fast.
But when they reached the field, they found no wolf. The boy was laughing. He had played a trick on them, making them believe there was a wolf attacking the sheep. The villagers were not amused by his prank. The villagers realized he had tricked them. They had rushed to the field, leaving their work and homes behind, only to find out it was all a lie. They were angry, but also relieved that the sheep were safe. Their anger stemmed from the boy's deceit, but their relief was because their livestock, their livelihood, was unharmed.
You tricked us, that wasn't funny. They scolded the boy, expressing their frustration and disappointment.
We were so worried. They had genuinely feared for the safety of the sheep and were concerned about the potential danger.
You should have seen your faces! The boy found the whole situation amusing, not understanding the gravity of his actions.
They warned the boy about the dangers of lying. They told him that if he continued to lie, people would stop believing him, even when he was telling the truth, and returned to the village. The boy just laughed, not taking their warnings seriously. Little did he know his actions would have consequences in the future. The next day, the boy got bored again. He had enjoyed the excitement and attention from the previous day, and the thrill of tricking the villagers was still fresh in his mind. He sat alone, thinking about how he could recreate that moment of chaos and laughter. The sheep grazed peacefully around him, unaware of the boy's mischievous thoughts. He decided to play the same trick again. With a mischievous grin spreading across his face, he began to plan his next move. He knew exactly what to do to get the villagers running once more. The anticipation of their frantic reactions made him chuckle to himself.
Wolf! Wolf! Help! He shouted at the top of his lungs, his voice echoing through the valley. He put on his best act, pretending to be in distress, hoping to see the villagers come running again.
The villagers came running, but once again there was no wolf. They looked around, confused and out of breath, only to find the boy laughing at their expense. The realization that they had been tricked again began to sink in. The villagers were very angry. They had left their work and rushed to help, only to be made fools of once more. Their faces turned red with anger, and they began to argue amongst themselves about what to do with the boy.
Not again! This is not a game, one of the villagers shouted, waving his hand dismissively. They were tired of the boy's antics and felt exasperated by his lack of seriousness.
We won't be fooled this time, another villager declared, shaking his head in disbelief. The trust they had in the boy was quickly eroding, replaced by skepticism and distrust.
Enough of your lies, a third villager shouted in frustration, pointing an accusatory finger at the boy. They had had enough of his lies and deceit.
Then, a real wolf appeared from the woods. Its eyes glinted menacingly as it stepped out from the trees, slowly approaching the flock of sheep. The boy's heart raced as he realized the true danger that was now before him.
Oh no! A real wolf! Help! Please, someone help! The boy cried out in genuine fear this time, his voice trembling. He looked around desperately, hoping the villagers would come to his aid.
The villagers had learned their lesson, and this time, they did not come. They continued with their daily chores, ignoring the boy's cries, convinced it was just another one of his tricks. The boy was left to face the real danger alone. He stood there, terrified and regretful, realizing the consequences of his actions. The wolf drew closer, and the boy knew he had to find a way to protect himself and the sheep, but he was all alone.